Are you ready to see the greatest early PAL team you can get? Hands down, the greatest early PAL team that will destroy anything and everything in its sight. Because I'm about to show you. And the last two are absolutely crazy. So, let's start off with the first one. The first one is Hoot Crates. Now, you must be wondering, Hoot Crates? Why Hoot Crates? There's nothing special about him. Well, I was looking at stats, and compared to all the other ones, he has a little bit less attacking, which, you know, isn't great, but his defense compensates for that. He's a very good well-rounder. And not only that, I could just sit on that and say he's a good option, but they're all good options for that. Why does he set apart from the others? Well, he has an ability, and I can't remember what it's called, but I'm not going to bring it up so I don't spoil the other ones. He's got an ability which raises dark type moves of his, I'm assuming his, and other pals. Now, why is that great? That is great for the last option I'm going to show you, the best option in the game early on. But Hoot Crates is great because he boosts his own attack and something else that will help you out quite a lot. So he is definitely one of the pals you want to get in your team straight away. Next one we're going to do, and this might be words for you because, again, don't want to spoil anything, is going to be Fox Sparks. Now, this might just be because I have gotten super lucky, but my Fox Sparks in particular, I'm just going to blur out. In fact, wait, give me 1 second. Here we go. Now I can show you without doing anything. So, Fox Sparks, I have upgraded his attack. So ignore his attack and his health because they've been upgraded like by me. It's not his actual base stats. But his attack in general, just base, is actually really good. He does a lot of damage to a lot of other pets. Defense isn't great, but that doesn't matter. He's just going to be like a fucking glass cannon going out there destroying you. Not only that, early on you can get him an attachment where you can use him as a flamethrower, which actually does a lot of damage. Also, fire, like any other game, is going to do residual damage, which, again, great. And then thirdly, from at least what I've seen, I've caught a few Fox Sparks, and a lot of them seem to have a lot of passive skills compared to all the other ones. Like, I think the one that I've got the least of is 2. They all at least have 2 passive skills. And the one I got actually is pretty crazy, because he's got 10% increase in player defense. Me. So if I've got him out, I'm getting stronger as well. He's got earthquake resistant, and he's got musclehead, which increases his 30% attack, and because he's not going to be in the house working, that minus 50% work speed does not matter, because he never gets used to work anyway. So he's just a great glass cannon. Now, he does have fragrant foliage, which isn't great. I think it increases grass damage coming into me, not out. But still, super great to have. He's kind of an all-rounder, really big damage, and he's just going to destroy everything in his path. Now we go into the third PAL team member, and it's going to be Nightwing. Now, this is kind of like a later on one, because this one you kind of find in this area that I'm in now, and let me see if I can show you. It's kind of this area in the middle of the map. So you start over here, and you kind of make your way all the way to here, and they kind of start spawning here. Not too hard to get. He's like a level 10, so if you play the game for around half an hour, 10, like to an hour, you should be able to fight him and get him. And if you get up to level 15, which should be around 3 hours of gameplay, still very early on. This game is massive. People don't understand how massive this game is. You can actually get a saddle for him, which I have for him now, and you can actually ride him. So any other pet, you can get other pets to ride earlier on whilst you don't have him, but if you get to level 15, which is still very early on in the game, you can just ride him, fly him. Make sure you upgrade stamina, because not only for flying him, everything else in the game, stamina is super important. But you already have a pet that you could ride, super quick. He also does a lot of damage. Like, all of his attacks, in fact, let me show you right here. He has 3 attacks. Not only that, he has a grass attack, which I don't even know if he gets anyway, but he has a 65 base attack, which is tornado attack, and I think it attacks twice. It's like a 2-bit attack, which is great. It does a lot of damage to other things. He has a lot of attack, as you can see on the right hand side, and he has a lot of HP. This is a pal that hasn't been upgraded whatsoever. He also doesn't have any passive skills apart from this one. The satiety doesn't really matter, but if he had passive skills and you're lucky enough to find one with even more passive skills, this guy will be an absolute monster, and he's just great to have because he does damage, and you could use him as, like, to traverse around. You could be really quick, you could get to high places really easily. Just a great all-rounder, and he has to be in your team. Even if you don't agree with me with the first two, he has to be in your team. Now we're going into the 2 big boys, and now this one is going to be probably the hardest one to get out of all of them, but it is 100% worth it. The fourth one, I was going to say third one, is this one. It's a Relaxosaurus. Now, I know what you're thinking. He's the coolest fucking one yet, and I agree with you. I think he's the coolest pal in this whole game. But why should you get him? One is a dragon type, and if anyone has played Pokemon games, for some reason, every game likes to make dragon types, well, because they're dragons, the most disgusting things in the whole game. This guy not only starts off with an attack that does AoE damage, so if you're ever invaded by people, or you're kind of in an amalgamation of pals and you're fighting like 6 or 7 of them at a time, he will just wipe them clear. So they're really good for dungeons, especially when the dungeon bosses have like little pals next to them. He'll just clear that whole dungeon out. He does a lot of damage, he has a lot of base health, and the only bad thing about this guy is that he is kind of annoying to get. He kind of spawns, again, in the similar area as the thing. It'll be around here. This is where I found him, and I've seen people have him spawn there before, so he should be there for mostly everyone. He spawns in at level 20, so I'm assuming most people will be playing with their friends. If you're not, get some friends, you fucking loser. Joking. But even if you are doing it by yourself, if you get to like around level 11, 12, and you have some good pals level 11, 12, you should be able to get him fairly easily. If not, have a team of 2 pals, so like 10 pals in total that are like a level 12 or 13 or something like that. Maybe even less, maybe a level 10. Have your whole team die to him, chip away his life, come back to your base, swap your team out, and go back to him. Because they actually do regen health. They don't stay at the health that you keep them at. They slowly regen health as it goes. So as soon as your team dies, go, switch teams, come back to him. But make sure he's not next to your base, because he destroyed my whole base during a live stream. Oh my god, what? What the fuck is going on? Now we're on to the last pal, and the reason I'm running is because you will actually be able to see him, and it's Daydream. Now, you must be wondering, why Daydream? He is actually the most important pal you can have early game. I don't know if there's anything else you can get later on in the game. I'm trying not to get spoiled with the game, but early on, he is 100% the most important pal you can get. I think there's a necklace you can get for him, and I think it's around about level 9, between level 11 and 9, super early on in the game. And what does that necklace do? Well, if I get all my pals out, which you can now see the bottom left because I wouldn't have blurred it. If I get all my pals out, you can only get 1 out at a time. If I get Relaxosaurus, if I try to get Nightwing, you can only have 1 out at a time. But what this necklace does is, he will always be next to you. Not only will he be next to you, protecting you, but this way you can have 2 pals out at a time. So anytime you're in danger, you'll always have 2 pals out, and obviously because this game lets you attack yourself, you'll always have 3 forms of damage going into people rather than 2. So he is by far the most important pet. And the reason I said to bring out... Get out. There you go. Hoot Crates is because Hoot Crates boosts up dark damage. And what does Daydream? Dark damage. I would most of the time say have all of your pets, or Pokemon if you play Pokemon, have all of your pals different attributes just because you have the widest coverage possible. But in this case, especially early on, you won't be coming up against that many different types of pals. Plus, as long as you're not using anything that's super effective against you or not very effective against them, you should be fine. Everything's pretty like fair game in the game. This way, you kind of have always boosted damage for him, or if that's not the way it works in the game, I'm not 100% sure. You will definitely have boosted damage for him, which he'll always be out for. So, these two kind of work in tandem. He's already a good all-rounder. Daydream, if you can find a good one, will actually be a really good pet, but again, he's always just insurance. You always have 2 pals out at a time. So, this is 100% the best pal team you can get. Now, can you get better ones? No, listen to what I'm saying. This is 100% the best team. Joking. Joking. You can probably get better pals. Again, it all depends on what stats they have, what passive traits they have. It's all really dependent on that. But this, I think, is the best pal team, in my opinion, that you can get early on in the game, just because their stats seem to always be really good. Especially Fox Sparks. I've got really lucky with Fox Sparks, with the passive skills that he has. But even looking into his stats, he does have very high attacking stats, and he does have a fair bit of health to go with it. Plus, with the saddle you can give him, the fuck's... You peeing, Daydream? I'm fucking peeing, I'm doing a video. But with the saddle you can give him, he's definitely an all-rounder. I think they all serve their purpose. They all serve their purpose in one way or another, and you have to get each one of them, I think, early on to do anything in the game. Again, there are some, like you can see in my house over there, I do have a plethora of them, but these ones, if you want to go specifically into battle, will destroy everything. I have not come into any problems apart from Relaxosaurus, because, again, you will have trouble with him just because he is quite tough. But once you get past that toughness and you catch him, you will literally destroy everything. This is such a well-rounded team for everything. You will not be stopped at all. Anyway, I hope that's helped some people playing Palworld. I'm not usually used to doing tutorial type stuff. My whole channel is about walkthrough, but I really fell in love with this game. And if this video does well, I might even do some walkthroughs or something like that. Just some gameplay, maybe not walkthroughs, just some gameplay clips. I do live stream this game, so if you guys are interested in that, please subscribe, and you will see some live streams here or there. If they do well, then I might do them more often. But it's just such a good game. I kind of wanted to go out and help people and show people my team. This is look at my team. It's fucking beautiful. But yeah, I hope this has helped some people starting off with the game. Get these people, and you will not find anything hard with the game at all. Yeah? Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. Guys, do enjoy, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.